coming up.
Tactical Beats.
Alright guys, thank you so much for coming back to Fire Details here today. So we have an Audi that has been sitting just for so long that it's just covered in mold inside. So we have mold under the seats, mold under the carpets, and even on the car mats themselves. Just completely covered with mold. This passenger side seat is just covered in it. And today it's just going to be a breakdown of what we need to do to kill it and obviously get it all cleaned up so that we can try to prevent this mold from growing back in this car. But just take a look after I take the seats out of this car, just how bad this mold really is. Alright, so I did want to start with the car mats first because they are going to need a lot of time to dry out completely. And just for your guys' sake, I do steam everything that I do in this video. You may not see all of it in the video, but steam is basically going to be the killer of this mold. Essentially, I do have some mold, killer spray. It is good for fabrics mainly. I don't spray it on the vinyl, but I do hit the vinyl with the steamer. So basically it is going to be killing it as much as we can so that obviously we again prevent it from growing back. Alright, now getting into the vacuuming portion. So basically what I'm going to be doing here is trying to hit the worst side of it all. Now the driver's side is still worse than this passenger side, but the back seat was where I found the majority of the mold for the passenger side. So I decided to start off with the passenger side just to, make sure I get everything and it has the longest time to dry out because I will be hitting it the most. And of course, I will be putting a big fan on all of this so that it can thoroughly dry out and I'm not just depending on the air to dry it out. I did also want to give you a big thank you, guys. We did hit 2,500 subscribers. It is a dream come true to finally be making money online. I love that I get to share these video making processes with you, and I am happy that you guys are enjoying it. I love the positive feedback. I love any kind of feedback, honestly, and I just love what I'm hearing from you guys. So, yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel to look out for future videos and everything. I do try to post every single week with new details, and yeah, keep enjoying the content, guys. Alright, now just like I said, the driver's side front portion is definitely a lot worse than this section right here, but just know I'm only doing it because of the back seat, of course, and I'm getting through this. I'm really trying to make sure that I get every single bit of mold that I can out of the carpet, of course. There is little strands here and there, and I'm doing the entirety of the carpet because if you just do one portion of it and then leave the rest of it be, to me that just doesn't look so good at all because it looks like one portion of the carpet's brand new, been shampooed, while the other half just looks so old and raggedy. So I always do the entirety of the carpet if I'm doing any kind of shampooing, just because I want it all to look brand new, not just the portion. Now this section right here is where I found the majority of the mold and why I'm going to be spending most of my time on this. I hit it with the steamer a couple of times to make sure I can try to get as much as it killed and up as possible, then hitting it with the mighty hot water extractor and then drying it up with a towel, of course. Alright guys, and just like I said, this part right here had the majority of the mold on this side. I was just trying to make sure that I got the majority of the mold that I saw on the other side in the back seat done, but yeah, covered in mold right in between there. And yes, it does look a little bit like dirt, but I promise you, I've seen dirt and I've seen mold, and that's definitely mold. The camera does not just capture it very well at all. And the goal for the seats here today, since they were covered in mold as well, is to spray it down with this cleanser here that I have in my air compressor gun. This thing shoots it at a pretty high pressure, so basically it gets into the creases for me and does all the hard work of getting it up. And then what I'll do is wipe it down. After I wipe it down, I do get it. I get my steamer out and then hit it with the steamer just to make sure it is all killed. Then wipe it down again for the last step. Alright, and basically I'm going to be doing the brushing on this one, just so I don't fling everything everywhere. I will not use my air compressor gun until I dry it off completely. And then I do just want to let you know the middle console, I was filming it, got it to film for about like 20 seconds, and then the camera died. For some reason the camera is not holding a good battery right now. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. I am trying to look for a new camera since this one is kind of dying on me. I just got so frustrated that I wasn't able to record that part and was already finished after, it was already dead.